Welcome to the Plutosphere.
Connecting decentralized technologies to the global economy.
We are here to bring you the latest from the leading commandos in the crypto space.
So this week we welcome our guest, Jesse Reich, CEO at SplinterLANDS. SplinterLANDS is the most extensively played NFT-based game in the blockchain world. Jesse, it would be amazing if you could just give us a quick overview into SplinterLANDS.
Sure, it's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me, and thanks for sharing our game with your audience. SplinterLANDS is a digital trading card game. It's based on blockchain technology. And by doing that, it solves a whole bunch of problems that ultimately kind of boils down to you can play anytime, you can trade anytime, and now you can earn every win. And by having built a game like this, it basically allows gamers to, spend time in video games, but not have that time be wasted or have the money that they'll put into a game just evaporate into the ether. Now they own digital assets, and now they actually have the ability to earn cryptocurrencies while playing. And that to us is a far more fair system of gaming. And what we see is that it has a lot of traction. There's hundreds of thousands of accounts that are playing every single day, and they'll tell us verbatim, I don't know how I'll ever go back to playing more traditional styles of digital games because I'm not going to put money into those things because the money is just gone.
And it's just going into thin air. So how long have you actually been playing on the blockchain, Jesse?
Well, I got into the blockchain in 2016, and we started building the game in 2018. So, right when CryptoKitties was like exploding for the first time, that's when it really got into, my partner's name is Matt. So Matt and I were at a restaurant in Philly and just trying to talk through it. And, he had said, hey, I've spent my life as a developer and all I want to do is make games, and CryptoKitties is really cool, but it's just a collectible, and collectibles are not really like the end all be all of what you could do with this technology. And Matt and I both knew that back in 2018. And we said, all right, let's go make a game and turn it from collectible to something that has far more utility than that. And that, that conversation was really standing on the shoulders of what Dapper Labs have done and CryptoKitties have done. And then us saying, what else can we do with this technology?
And obviously you've been creating this game since 2018. And do you think you've really been creating the game that length of time, so up until now, so what, that's 3 years, maybe 2.5? Is that how long it takes to create a game that's really substantial in the space and is going to have longevity, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, this stuff, sometimes I feel like people see us and they think like, oh, that must be easy or something, but this is really hard. I mean, so you have to do everything that a free-to-play game does, but then you have to add an entire additional layer on top of it, which is all the blockchain technology stuff.
Yeah.
And we interoperate on multiple blockchains. We're on Steam, Hive, Tron, Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, Wax, and there's probably one or two that I'm missing.
Yeah.
And in order to go do that and facilitate that, you have to maintain servers and networks and all this. You have to write all this code to operate. We do that for both fungible tokens and non-fungible tokens. You literally have to be doing like layers and layers of more complexity. And then what is possibly the worst part is that you then have to put it all on a mobile phone where you have to take 10 times the complexity and put it on 1/10 of the screen.
And make it just as user-friendly.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this stuff is hard, and things break, and the industry is new. We're like literally pioneering how to go do these things, and it's just a lot of it's a lot of work, and it's extremely complicated. It's super technical, and then at the end of it, it's graphically challenging to present. I mean,
it's fantastic though. And I guess in a more positive light, you guys have got, I mean, from September, I think your figure was sort of 260,000 a day users. And now what is it up to? I mean, how are you, one, what is it up to? And two, how are you managing the influx of traction?
Yeah, so it took us 3.5 years to get up to 300,000 paying accounts, that we call them. To get into the game, you have to buy what's called the Summoner Spellbook, and it basically just unlocks your ability to earn cryptocurrency in the game. It's like a very small paywall, and it's mostly to go try to keep like armies of bots from joining. If there's like some small fee, it can help push them out of that process. Right. So it took us 3.5 years to get up to 300,000. And we went from 300,000 to like 700,000 in just the last month.
Wow, that's amazing. What?
Yeah.
I was expecting a figure like that. That is just incredible. You guys are amazing.
In the last month. Wow, that's amazing.
It's frankly maddening, right? Because like when we wrote a lot of this code, we wrote this code when we had like 10,000 players total, rather than where we're at now, which is like 430 to 450,000 accounts playing daily. And so like a lot of what we have to do is go back to 3-year-old code and make it far more efficient. But the code that we have in our game, if you printed it, would make a book about the size of War and Peace. So this isn't some like tiny little project where you're like, hey, just go in and tweak the code. It's like you have to find the code that's actually responsible for making it a little bit slow here or there. We have like thousands of pages of this code. You have to build diagnostic tools to go find the code that's like actually slowing servers down. Frankly, it's just been maddening. So what is maybe one of the most surprising facts of all of this is that like we as a company had probably spent less than $40,000 marketing this game. We have a couple people that are on staff that help us like internally with marketing, but we don't spend money on that. And so that growth is completely organic.
That's so impressive. We're like amazed at you've done fantastically well. Can we just talk about, bronze, you briefly touched on, bots. Bronze payouts have been nerfed, discouraging bot use unless they invest in cards to move them up in the ranking. Sort of what's your view on this?
Yeah, so a lot of this is coming from my partner who has a background in real money gaming and real money gaming economies. And from the beginning, we said this is not a free-to-play game, and people are expecting this to be a free-to-play game. Yeah, but it's not. It is a play-to-earn game, and in that you have to stake cards if you want to earn anything. And I think that initially we made mistakes in that we said, well, okay, but we're going to carve out this tiny little exception at the beginning. And what it's done is it's enabled accounts to just be created that have no cards, that can play over and over indefinitely. It's like a one-time cost and an infinite amount of earning. And so, a couple smart devs have made armies of bots that play. Mm-hmm. And we are not anti-bot. Like there's a lot of games that are out there that are like, we're going to ban bots. And that's not how we feel. We feel anybody that has keys and cards should be able to play. And we don't want to be the arbiters of, well, I can't tell if it's you and your brother or you and your mother or you and your wife that are playing, but it's playing all the time, so you're banned. And like, I don't want to personally ever have to make that call. Yeah. That's not what blockchain's about. But when we did it, I think we basically left ourselves open to an exploit, and it wasn't in line with our key premise of you have to own cards if you want to earn. Yeah. So all that we've done is we've made like a small portion where, it's basically still kind of like a free-to-play game at the beginning, but you can earn some things, but not all of them. So we're trying to like find the little middle ground there, but we really wanted that if you want to earn cards and you want to earn prizes of any sort, it's not anti-bot or not anti-user, it's not anti-beginner, it's just the premise is if you want to earn in a play to earn game, you have to own and stake the cards. Yeah. That's what we've done. And hopefully we'll see that there's fewer bots created. But again, we just don't like the problem here is that if you have even the smallest of exploit, if you blow it up by 10,000 bots and you give it an unlimited amount of time, they'll drain your economy, and we don't want that for the rest of the players. So we are rather aggressive in trying to go solve for these problems.
So is this a little bit why you've got obviously the incentive is the airdrops at the moment up until summer of 2022. Are you going to be implementing another type of incentive for people to keep staking and earning their tokens, other than obviously you need amount of tokens to buy the cards. There's so many games out there at the moment that people could, turn to and be like, oh, okay, they've got an incentive for the next year. What is the incentive that Splinterlands will keep implementing so it keeps its players?
Yeah, so these things I would hope would already be in place by now, because they're all the things that we put into the roadmap for the governance token. But the second that we launched the governance token, that's when we started experiencing just like absolutely massive growth. And we had to shift from feature development into more of like a DevOps, business stream. Slowly and almost finally now really coming out of that, where we have most of our DevOps under control. I'm sure there's going to be blips here and there, but we had a bunch of server outages as we literally 40x'd the game environment.
No.
And so where we're at now is that we can get back to feature development, and some of those features are around the governance token and how you can earn the governance token by staking it and then playing in the game. And so there's whole new sets of rewards that are available. The airdrop was not meant to be like a permanent thing. We've always stated that, but there's the play to earn is maybe 30% of the ongoing inflation of the governance token over the lifespan of this project. And so, yeah, that's where the majority will come from, but you're going to have SPS, you're going to have to stake it. I mean, you can play the game, but those earnings aren't going to be available to you unless you are participating in the economy as a staker. So, but that hasn't been built yet. That's one of next up, we're rolling out Chaos Legion, which is a current
Yes,
edition
that's
of
what I was
Cards
just
and
about
Packs.
to ask. Tell us, talk about Chaos Legion. Amazing.
So we've sold out of alpha, we sold out of beta, we sold out of untamed, we sold out of all of our land. I think I have like a couple skins left, like cosmetic skins, but basically everything has been sold out.
Wow, that's phenomenal.
Yeah. So now what's left is that every year we tell our players we're going to produce another edition of packs. And we do that to make sure that new players have a way to come into the game and have it not be like, your only option is buying very expensive alpha cards, off the market. We want players to be able to buy packs and have it be fairly inexpensive. And, but there's a balance to be had there, because you don't just want to like shove new inflation all the time into the game. So we say, look, once a year, we're going to look at the number of players, and we're going to come up with kind of a conservative value of how many new packs we can add to the ecosystem. And we meter these things out. One of my personal favorite inventions that I've done in this game, like Matt gets credited with tons of stuff. Like he put the whole governance token together. That guy's brilliant. He should get a PhD in economics for the white paper on SPS. It's just like really groundbreaking. My innovation was to go put in vouchers. And so the behavior that we want players to do is to stake the token and stake it for a long time. And the way the best measurement of that is something called stake days, where it's just how long have you staked this token? And so vouchers represents a version of that, which is a fungible token form of stake days. So we set out, well, how many packs do we want to go meter out, and what's the pace? So we said, look, there's going to be 15 million packs. But we want to meter out some of the first ones. And so for this first million packs, because we are currently right now in the middle of the very early stages of the release of Chaos Legion, we said we're going to do an airdrop of these things called vouchers. And in order to go purchase a pack, you have to pay the list price, which is $4, but you also have to provide a voucher. Now, if you are staking SPS, you are just automatically getting vouchers, and so that is free to you. Nice. If you are not staking SPS, you have to go purchase a voucher, not from us as the game and the central developers, but from the community, and you have to pay the community in order to go be able to buy a pack. Wow. Now, the pack is $4 from us, but these vouchers are trading between $18 and $25. So the vast majority of the value of the pack is going to the people that are staking SPS. We're taking some money to make sure that we as a company have funds to pay our developers, to grow the game, to get more games out, to go do everything that we need to do. But like our theory, like our ethos is very crypto-centric, and we don't want all of the income just coming to us. We want it really going to the community. And so
when we first spoke, I thought that there was some sort of like renting scheme that you guys were going to be bringing out. So you're doing the vouchers, which I think is amazing. And obviously, yes, you will be getting them for free if you stake. But how about for the people that are wanting to get in now? Are you going to be saying, like come in, rent something, you can still get your percentage of playing to earn, but so does the person that you're renting it off? Or how's it going to work with the renting as well?
The rental market has been going gangbusters. It exists now and it's already out. We currently rent somewhere around 1 million cards per day. And those cards, depending on where you are within the season, we have a 2-week-long season. And at the end, there's like a giant boost of rewards that go out. So there's a little bit of a cycle to how people play our game. It's low key at the beginning of the season, but everybody and their mother is fighting at the end of the season to try to get those extra rewards. So at the end of the season, we'll have probably 1.2 million cards rented, and it's at a pace where the renters are earning approximately $60 million per year at that pace. And I got to tell you, renting cards in this game is like the coolest and best passive income I can imagine. I've owned property, right? And I've rented out property. And when you do that, you have to clean the gutters, you have to fix the electric, you have to power wash the house. You gotta kick out some defunct tenant. You have legal bills. You have all there's just a million things that go into renting physical property and real estate. Here, you push a button and money shows up in your account. I mean, it's like the easiest thing I think we've created, and it's just. This is, to me, the best passive income I could imagine. You own a digital asset, if it was a physical Pokemon card, I wouldn't, you two seem like absolutely lovely ladies, but I'm not going to hand you a physical card and hope that later you will give it back to me in an unmutilated condition. Especially if it's like $100,000 card or something really expensive.
I actually have all my Pokemon cards still somewhere in the back of my cupboard. There's a wad of them, and I'm just waiting. I'm hodling my cards, my real cards.
So, but I can't do that. And with blockchain, I can. With blockchain, I don't have to fear, is this, am I going to get the cards back or something like that? They never truly leave my account. I never lose ownership. If you stop paying rent, I can take them right back. And so to me, it's the single best passive income I've ever seen in my lifetime. And it happens to be in my game, and I'm super thrilled about it.
Happens to me. That's amazing. So, I mean, I'm guessing that is definitely, there's going to be the rise of the rentals. I think that it's definitely something to watch. We've seen an amazing rise recently in play to earn. How did you guys sort of identify this as the area of the moment? I mean, obviously, back in 2019.
I guess also the question is, how did you guys decide this is the time we come to market? Obviously, you've taken your time to build, but for some reason, it seems to be the time now that the biggest games have thought this is the time people are understanding enough to get involved.
Yeah.
So Matt and I are hardcore gamers, and we've been gamers our whole life. I sat around when I was 8 years old, and I would go design Dungeons and Dragons, maps and layers and all this. I've been a nerd since I was 8. Matt dreamed, he was in middle school, and everybody already knew that his life was going to be programming and development, software development to make games. Nobody has ever been surprised at what Matt's career choice has become. And so what we do is we start thinking through what is the absolute coolest thing that we could do for gaming in general and what we would want in our games. And we just build that, right? And so wouldn't it be cool if you could actually earn money while playing? That's not some magic leap, but nobody had really invented that. I don't know if we're the first play to earn game. I actually don't know enough about Axie to know if they beat us a little bit, Like, I know that there were some like Bitcoin faucets that were
you were fresh. You were fresh off the market. Not only were you fresh off the market, but you're still in the market, which is just ace. I mean, that doesn't happen a lot in this space.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys that, the most likely thing that happens in crypto for a project is that they raise a bunch of money and produce absolutely nothing. The second is that they raise a bunch of money, produce something, and then quickly find out that for a million different reasons it flops and fails. Like getting something actually functional and having any kind of longevity in this space is really hard, because like there's so many decisions and so many technicalities that can make this stuff go wrong. And like, as we've noted, even just very small exploits in a system, when multiplied by a developer that in their sleep can create 30,000 accounts and actually run the exploit, and they will, it can ruin your economy almost overnight. And then you combine that with hacks and other things. This is a crazy space to be building in. It is, it's just so freaking difficult.
Not only are you combating hacks and bots and all the rest of it, but you're right, it's the longevity that you just don't see. And I'll be honest with you, you guys at SplinterLANDS have really set the bar high for Pluto. You know, we love what you do. You've been a substantial player ever since you came to market. Even before you came to market, you were sort of hit the ground running and you just haven't stopped. You're like Mo Farah of gaming in our eyes. And I'll be honest, you really have set the bar. When we look at projects now, it's like, no, they haven't got it. You either have, you know, amazing artwork, or you have a fantastic idea that people are attracted to, or even you have, you know, a good pedigree of a team. You guys have just brought all of that to the space, and it is really, really promising and encouraging, especially for us when we're out there looking at people every day. You're definitely what we're comparing most people to at the moment. I don't know if I should say that, but it's true.
Well, thanks. I mean, we just, for the record, we have been pulling our hair out trying to make this thing happen this whole time. It's just,
you still have hair though, which is fantastic.
I do.
And not to mention that, but you are super, super impressive. You're a doctor of chemistry, studied theatre, chemistry, education, and now you've ended up in crypto. It's like full circle when your parents are telling you, get off the TV, get off the computer, get off all of this digital stuff, and then you go and you try and you live your life. You're like, this is just not fun. I need to come straight back to where I belong, and this is it. I take it.
Yeah, I mean, that advice was actually wrong. You go do digital things, go spend time in digital, go connect with people, go, you know, just like live your life how you want and enjoy it, make the friends you have, and experience life and all of its goodness to the best of your ability. And then, you know, it is better to be in gaming now than almost any other space out there. I mean, like, I don't know. Some of my players say it's cringy, but I don't care. Like, we've been minting millionaires in this game. Just, that's what we've done. And we've done it. I've done it for land. I've done it with cards. I've done it with land, and I've done it with SPS. So we're minting millionaires, like, and they're playing video games. Like, I just think that's the coolest thing that any person on the planet could say. So
we have you to thank.
I love what we're doing. No, I mean, it's the players, it's the community. Like, you know, they're constantly giving us feedback, plenty of it negative. You know, this is like,
you need it though, right? You need the negative to like learn, to improve, to.
We get the same negativity, and it doesn't. I don't think it knocks us anymore. At first, it was a bit daunting, but you kind of get used to it, and you're like, yeah, actually, maybe you make sense, or maybe I need to change that, or oh, you need to get a hobby because you're saying the same thing.
Yeah, well, you know, or there's a reason we haven't, you know, told you that yet. We're not ready to reveal these things yet. Yeah. So no, it's so good. It's been so interesting to have you on. Please, can you just leave us with what you're most excited for and sort of in the future of gaming?
Well, I mean, I can't get my nose out of SplinterLANDS. I just think that Chaos Legion is freaking awesome, that the rollout of this is great, that we're adding a whole new league system to go help our players build and earn within this. And I really just feel like that's going to be the thing that helps a whole next crew of people in this, like the end of 2021 and the start of 2022, get into play to earn, like find their niche, find the way that they want to engage, rent their cards, earn their SPS, do all of these things in this game. And, like for the industry, the more interoperable we are, the more interconnected we are, the more that we share this space, I think it's great. But, you got to play this game at the local level where you're just making your product as good as you freaking can. Yeah. And then hopefully at in the industry level, we're working together to interconnect. And, my opponent is not, Sandbox or Axie. My opponent is like all of free to play. It's all of the legacy games, because all of these other guys are people that I can connect with, grow with, participate with. They're not my competitor. They're not my competition. It's all of the legacy systems that are. So,
and do you get a chance to play? How often do you get to play it?
I don't get to play as much as I would like. I mean, maybe a game or two every week, if that. I mean,
what is your ranking?
But
most importantly,
but I love the rental system. So I'm in there all the freaking time. The game isn't just the game. The game is also the economy surrounding the game, and that's the part that I really enjoy. So I am constantly in the economy of this. I mean, creating liquidity pools, providing liquidity, getting that stuff rewarded, making it easy for players to come in and out of these products, renting cards. Those are the things that like I super enjoy. I do like my game. It is pretty addictive, but it's also hard for me to like sit down and play it because I got a million different things to do. But I don't want anybody to leave being like, that guy doesn't like even care about his game or participate in that. No.
We definitely know you care about this game.
We don't feel like that at all.
Yeah,
we know you love it.
Yeah, for me, I tell players, they'll say like, hey, Aggie, I got like $50 or $100. What should I buy? And it's like, there's a lot of different ways to earn in this game. What you really ought to do is just what part of it you like the most. Are you a trader? Do you want to flip? Do you want to play? Do you want to rent? It doesn't really matter like which angle you come from, because it's all about what you enjoy doing. So, if people are listening to this, I would say, come get into Discord, join us at discord.splinterlands.com, go to the game, play a couple matches, start learning about the economy before you spend really anything at all. And then once you kind of get like a little bit of the lay of the land and you see just how many different ways you can interact with this thing, then start zeroing in on like, what is it that you like to do? And then pursue that, because there's going to be ways to make money in this game.
Totally. Discord's obviously super hot for you guys, and your Twitter as well. Anything else that we should be mentioning? Obviously, we're going to put all of your links below.
Telegram, it's SplinterLands HQ for that. Discord, Twitter, those are really the big ones. We got a blog that's on peakd.com/@SplinterLands. So you can, that's like the official blog of the game. But we repost all that stuff to like all the other socials. We're on YouTube a little bit too. Try to have the modern version of this is that you can't just be one place. You have to be everywhere all the time. Bo Burnham has a song that's like, can I offer you everything all of the time, a little bit of everything all of the time. That's the whole idea, is that the internet never sleeps, it never stops. And we have to go participate in this thing at all times, always. And as a company, it's a lot to do. It's like an infinite amount of work to do.
Oh my God, fantastic. I've just written that down. I'm definitely going to have a listen. Thank you for that. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah,
it's a pleasure. You ladies are awesome.
Thanks
so much.
Thanks. See you soon. Bye.
Bye, Jesse.
Thank you, Plutonauts, for watching. We will be back with more from the galaxy of Pluto soon. Don't forget to give us a like,
give us a share,
and subscribe.